Hey everyone, this is Chef. Welcome back to Umo. Today we're going to continue playing Revolving Doors with our Team Trials team, but first we're going to go do a couple polls, because we got a training booster giveaway for a free SSR support card. And then also, at some point, I finished some career event that I don't remember that gave us a guaranteed SR Scout card as well. So we're going to pull on both of these. We're going to see what we get. See if it's anything that can bump up the capabilities of our deck even a little bit. Scarlet is nice for a good wit card. I don't think we've used Iowa's card yet, but it is a nice one to have for later on if we want options for wit. And then let's also take a look at our SSR. It is a Tokai'Teo. So it's another speed card option, which is kind of interesting. Let's go and take a look at that, because I also finished the new story chapter. I played through chapter 5, I got the new Suzuka card. So now we have a few things to look at as far as our support cards are concerned. So let's go pop up Game Tora and see what we're working with. So here we are on Game Tora with our two new SSR cards. We have our 0 uncapped Silent Suzuka that we got from the story. We have our new 0 uncapped Tokai'Teo that we got from our SSR ticket. We also have Biko here as one of our mainstay SSR support cards currently, and then we also have Vodka as our best SR card. So what we can see for Suzuka, first of all, is that there's okay specialty priority, but she's missing a lot of the things that make Biko good. There's no training effectiveness, there's no initial speed, and while she does have a little bit of initial friendship gauge, she's missing race bonus and fan bonus. I do know that Suzuka as a card has very good frontrunner hints. If we go into skills, there's so much stuff here for frontrunners that's good. And then if we go into career events, this is a decent recovery for mediums for frontrunners. We also don't have a lot of gold recoveries, so there may be a case that we end up using Suzuka for a medium deck somewhere. But as far as a card that builds stats, she's fairly underwhelming. And then if we look at our other new option, Tokai, there's a little bit more going on here. She has better friendship bonus than any other card that we have. She has a mood effect that's almost as good as Vodka's. And while she's missing training effectiveness, mood effect and training effectiveness are actually very similar stats. When you have a mood increase, when you go from normal to good, it increases the stats that you gain from training by 10%. And then going from good to great is another 20%. Or, sorry, not another 20%, 10% total for 20% in great mood. Sorry, let me start over. Mood effect gives you plus 10% stat. Mood effect is the amount of bonus stats that you get from training at good and great mood. Good mood increases the stats that you get from training by 10%. Great mood increases by another 10% for 20% total. There we go. That was not that hard. Then, mood effect is an effect on top of that, by a percent. So Vodka with 50 mood effect is functionally an extra 10% from training. So 50 mood effect is about the same thing as 10 training effectiveness as long as you're at great mood, which you normally should be. Tokai'Teo is at 40, and while she's missing training effect completely, this is in practice more like an 8% training effect. But the bigger problem is that she's missing specialty priority. So the friendship bonus is nice, but she doesn't actually show up at speed training that much because she has a fairly low specialty priority. And the hint levels and hint frequency are good, initial friendship gauge is nice, initial speed is kind of nice, but you're bringing support cards to build stats on the training that you expect them to show up at. And so if specialty priority is low, you need to have some other good reason for bringing them, and I don't think Tokai gives you enough of a good reason to bring her when she's lacking in specialty priority. So all that to say, that we have a couple nice options if we want very specific gold skills. Suzuka has a gold recovery for mediums, Tokai'Teo has Rushing Gale, which is going to help us complete a career event later, but neither of those cards are really things that we're going to use, I think, so they're not amazing pulls, but it's nice to have them in the library. Moving on to what we're actually going to do today. We're going to continue fixing up our mile runners. And specifically, we made a new vodka last time that we would really like to go in this medium slot. But we also need to build a replacement for vodka to go in the mile slot when we move over to medium. And we're a little light on trainees that can do that. Daiwa Scarlet can. She's mile A. This one just happened to get to mile S from the run. But that's really about it. And we've already got Mejiro Ryan over here who has a C in mile, who could be one of our candidates, but this Mejiro is probably fine for medium, so I'm just going to leave her there. Instead, we're going to try to build a Matikane for miles. If we look at Matikane, we've got mile C, which means that's something that is fixable through sparks. We can bring that to A fairly easily. But she actually has really nice stat growths. 20% stamina, 10% power means that we could try and run a very greedy deck here that doesn't actually run stamina cards at all. We could run something like 3 speed, 2 power, 1 Rico, or we could run 4 speed, 1 power, 1 Rico. And with 20% stamina growth, we could possibly still get to the amount of stamina that we need to finish a mile race. But before we jump into that specifically, there was a really good comment that got left on the medium vodka video that I want to revisit in Umulator and talk through. So I'm going to pull that up and I'll be right back. Alright, we're back, and credit to Mumu the Mage for this question. At the end of each video, I say, if you have any questions about Uma, leave a comment. If I shout your comment out in a video, it means you asked a very good question, and I'm excited to talk about it. So they said, they think that I may be overstamming my medium runners. The target that we were shooting for in the vodka run yesterday was 800 and a gold. And they were saying that 650 plus a gold might be enough for late surgers on a CM, which featured the longest medium track. So there's a few things going on that we can talk about here. In Umulator, I've put in the exact vodka that we built on that last run, except I'm playing around with the stam a bit. The vodka that we built was actually 803. I'm just going to leave it at 800 because that's a nice round number. And then we're going to say this one has 750. I'm also going to make them pace chasers because later on I want to highlight the difficulty or the differences the running style make. But this is going to serve us well for now. So if we compare this, we can see that there is absolutely no difference. The 750 stam runner and the 800 stam runner finish the race at exactly the same rate, which means that neither of them have stamina issues. We could go to 750 and Swinging Maestro. But there's a few things that can change that. And one of them, Umulator is going to let you look at, and the other one you're going to have to guess at. So the first thing is that track conditions matter. The wetter and softer a track is, the more stamina it takes to run that race. So this was a comparison we did with firm ground, sunny conditions. If we switch this to rainy and heavy, we can see that there is a stamina drop-off for runner 1, the one at 750 stamina, where they now struggle to finish this race. And it's very minor. It's not a huge difference, but it is there. One of the things that I try to do when I make my team trials runners is make sure that they can run in all conditions. And in fact, if you really need to pump your team trials score, one of the things that you can do if you go into team trials is you can use a rain doll. And what a rain doll will do is it will make sure that every single race has rainy weather, and as a result, soft or heavy terrain, which makes runners in that race use more stamina up. So if you really need to secure a good team trials position because it's a Sunday night and you're right at retention line or promotion line, if you're building all of your runners to hit stam threshold, you can force it to rain and you can get easy wins off of other runners who haven't done that. But the other reason that you might want to overstam a little bit is because of debuffs. And this is especially prevalent at medium distances. Nice Nature, with a couple potential levels, has a pretty nasty stamina debuff, and there's also just a lot of debuffs floating around for medium distance races in particular. And Umulator makes it a little tricky to model those. So even though I know that mathematically, if we got like 780 stamina here, or something like that, we'd probably be fine. I still want to build in that little bit of extra cushion so that I can handle potential debuffs that show up. Now, Vodka's not a pace chaser. Vodka's a late surger, and different running styles consume different amounts of stamina. It just so happens that Pace Chaser is the most stamina-demanding running style that there is. So if we switch both of these to Late Surger, we send you back to 750, and we keep it Rainy, we now see that there's no difference. And I'm pretty sure that if we drop you to 700 and we drop you to 750, there's still no difference. There's a very small difference, because Late Surger is using less stamina than Pace Chaser is. Now, what Mumu said is that 650 in a gold might be enough for Late Surgers on the last CM. So if we plug that in, we go 650 to 700, we can now see that there's a pretty big discrepancy. So I think 650 is a little too low, personally, but I also think that 800 in a gold was probably too much, and for Late Surgers, I could probably be aiming for 750, 760, somewhere around there fairly safely, and I could shave a little bit of stamina off, and I could put it into some other stat. That's a good question, though, and I appreciate you asking it, because this is a general approach that you can use for figuring out stam threshold on any track, for any team trials category, in any conditions, as long as you're willing to guess a little bit at how likely it is your skills are going to activate, how likely it is you're going to get rushed, and what kind of debuffers exist. So all that said, let's actually go play the game. That's 11 minutes of exposition about game mechanics, which I think is, you know, pretty on par for one of these episodes, but let's get into actually doing some runs, because I want to save time for team trials later. Where am I hiding Matikane? There she is. So, legacies. We need to borrow Mile Sparks here, and I'm pretty sure that we don't have any good Mile Spark runners. This is 1 power 2 mile. That's actually not horrible. I think it's maybe the best that we can do. It's definitely better than that. But then we're also going to need a guest borrow that takes us to mile A. And I'm not sure we've borrowed a mile horse before. We have one option. How good is this, Rudolph? I don't remember what I borrowed you for. No, you're a great mile horse. Never mind. Power, power, power. It would be nice if these were speed sparks, honestly, but I think we can work with them. So let's take this Rudolph. We're borrowing 100% power. It's okay. I don't think I can run a super greedy power deck in this case. If I was getting a little bit of stamina and speed out of this, maybe, but our power is going to be sky high. So let's try this. Let's grab Kita-san. This is your medium team trials deck. Switch to your mild deck. I think we probably want to run 4 speed cards. And among the speed cards that we looked at, so if I'm going to run 4, these are 3 fairly consistent rainbow trainings. I don't actually mind if Teo wanders around a little bit and spreads mood effect to some other training facilities. It's not ideal, but since I already have 3 speed cards, it's okay if I have a 4th one that's just kind of wandering around a little bit. So let's stick her in. We definitely don't need the frontrunner hints for Suzuko, and we're also not a mild or a medium runner, so we don't need the recovery. I think that's just gonna make Teo better in this case. We'll level her up to 30. We'll keep Rico, and then we're gonna run 1 stamina card. And that should be good enough. We're gonna get all of our power from our inheritances, I think, which means we probably don't need to run one. As far as what stamina card we use, these are all medium hints and pace chaser hints, which we can use. This Matikane is going to be a pace chaser. Late Surger we're probably not going to need. Ramp up is fine. I think these are okay hints. I mean, Cafe is good, but Cafe struggles a lot from not having friendship bonus and also giving a lot of mile hints. And I don't really want to use any of the SSRs because they're not great, and I'm already dealing with Biko starting with no friendship. I don't need to deal with Mayano also starting with no friendship. So we'll run Tosin Jordan, and we'll see how this goes. I think we may end up overshooting stamina just a little bit, because we do have that 20% growth, but I think this is close enough that we can find out and we can see how it goes. So let's go ahead and jump in. 101 power. That's a big power inheritance. Well, let's see how we do. It's a decent power building Biko's friendship. This is a good rec turn. I don't really see anything going on any of these trainings. We're back to full on energy, which is quite nice. It's okay, I don't need the explanation. And then we unlock our spirit training. So I'm fine jumping on guts because we're full energy here. It also builds Bika's friendship. It also builds Kita-san's friendship. Those are all cards that we want to get to Rainbow soon. I don't feel like I'm going to need the skill points right now, so just give me the stamina. It's a pretty bad wit. These are all really bad. I'll roll on the wit. I don't feel super pressured to get mood to great immediately. I think we can just let events deal with that. But those are not amazing trainings. Sure. I can't say that I'll be using early start. I'm pretty sure that's an end closer hint. We'll just take max training. Max spirit training here. We'll take 5 energy. Energy budget's doing fine, at least. It's not a bad guts. Rico's there to offset the energy cost, and there's not really anything better going on. I guess I would take that. We can probably still train safely next turn. If we can't, we can roll on wit, and we can definitely train safely the turn after that. Or energy. No, it's stamina. Triple spirit for 13. I'll gamble on that. It's a little higher than I would usually like to gamble on, but I haven't seen that many spirit trainings yet, so let's jump on it while we can. And then we get a really lucky slow metabolism to build our energy right back up so we can keep training. That's a good stamina training. Okay, the luck is finally hitting. We're finally seeing the trainings we want to see. Stop right there is a sprint hint. We don't have to worry too much about that. We're on a little bit of shaky stamina here, or shaky energy here. So if this isn't a good wit training, we might need to rest. It's actually a fine wit training. That speed training is too risky, but I'll take the wit training here. It's still going to mean that our energy is shaky next turn, but we could hit energy recovery events like this one. And then we could be fine. Very nice. That's actually still a good wit training. I don't mind taking this wit training. I mean, the speed training is fine, but this one builds Rico's friendship, and it also has the same number of spirit trainings. I don't hate doing that. It also just preserves energy, because if we took that speed training, we could not train next turn safely. So this just buys us a little more time to see a better turn. That's not great. That's not great. Guts is not going to be great. We'll take the speed, because our speed is lagging behind a little bit here. We would definitely like mile corners here. We plan on being a mile runner. No mile corners hint. That's unfortunate, but we could potentially get it from bursts later on. Late or pace? We'll stick on late because it's A. Good win. Very nice. Next race is the Yayoi show. I don't love anything that's going on here. It is an okay stamina, but I don't want to spend energy on a stamina this bad and have a better training show up later, so I may just take the wit to bump Rico to gold. Or to green. She doesn't want to go to green? That's fine. But I'd rather save energy for a better training next turn. I just don't think that one was very good. That one's also not very good. Stamina training's okay. It builds Kita-san's friendship, and it also definitely gets Rico to green territory, so it could unlock recreation. If we see a good training next turn, we're going to be a little disappointed. I think that's a bit of an odd training to spend energy on in most cases, but I want to get Rico's friendship unlocked, so we'll just take a rest here, because none of those trainings look amazing. And we'll accept that that was an okay gamble to make, and that it kind of paid off for us. None of these trainings look good. Where is everybody? This is just wit. Hey, this is almost a race. Is there a race today? There's a mile G3 that we haven't won. You know what? Let's go knock out a G3 that we haven't won yet. Because all of those trainings are just not good at all. No, late start is nice, but for late surger it doesn't really matter. We don't need to be up at the front at the start of the race anyway. We've bought no skills, so our skills have no way of triggering. We do have a unique. And I forget what the name of the... Rushed is probably fine. We can survive. I forget what the name of the unique is. We'll pull it up after this race. But it's a little bit of a fiddly one. You have to be in late rate... Well, you know what? I should just look up the name of the skill before trying to summon it out of my own memory, when my memory is already proven unreliable this episode already. Luck Be With Me is the name. And we're about to be able to see it if it's going to activate. So phase has to be greater than 2, which is late race or last spurt. Order has to be greater than or equal to 3, so we have to be in 4th or worse. But then we also have to be blocked in front of us, which is not generally something that you want to happen. But if all of those conditions are met, you get target speed and you get just a little bit of target acceleration. So it's a bit of a gamble unique, where you have to be fairly far back in order to get it to trigger. And you need somebody in front of you. So you need to hope that you're in the process of navigating around them, but you're behind them for long enough to actually get the skill to trigger. We'll gamble on lower energy loss. Energy down by 5, that's perfect. Rico Recreation, that's perfect. Things are looking up. We have 1 spirit training, 1, 1, 1. Everybody 1. I could just take Biko here, because I know Biko's friendship is going to be a problem. I probably should. I was thinking about taking a wit on that turn just to preserve energy, but I do want to keep building friendships. Don't want to take that. I really don't want to take that. I mean, it does. So it does put Vodka to Spirit Burst, which is fine. And it does mean that we can safely train next turn, which is fine. And we are getting the energy... I guess it's fine. We're getting the energy discount out of Rico. That's such an uninspiring training, though. As far as where we want to spend bursts, we're going to call ourselves Team Carrot, because Matikane's unique skill is medium only, and she's going to be a mile runner. So we don't need to name the team after her. It's an okay speed. Speed is also, I think, the target stat that we want to burst on, because we have that 0% growth in it, and we also have Teo, who is a little bit of a roaming card. She's not going to be showing up at speed training with any consistency, so we probably still need the burst on it. I would take this wit if my energy was better, but it's not, so I'm going to take a full rest. That's a crazy speed training. I will look at other options. There's no way we take anything other than that speed training. It builds everybody's friendship, and it has 3 spirit trainings on it. That's beautiful. Nimble Navigator, we should get a hint at the end of the run if things go well, so we'll just take the guaranteed skill points. We do not need Vodka to give us the hint. There's our burst on speed. There's nobody else there, but it does put Kita-san to gold, so I don't mind that. We also use up a burst before our first Unity Cup round. Unyielding Spirit is a mile skill, if I'm not mistaken, so we don't mind buying that either. Decent energy recovery, and then there's a G1 today and there's a G1 tomorrow, if we wanted to run either of those. These trainings don't look great, but I don't want to take a full rest because it's going to overflow my energy going into Classic Year, so I'm actually going to use up my first charge of Rico. And then we could train late December, or we could race late December, and we'll still benefit from energy recovery going into Classic Year. I think our power is going to be fine, so I'm going to take 10 wit out of this, because I wouldn't mind having more wit at the end of the day. And then all of these trainings look okay, but none of them are phenomenal. I mean, this Biko training's probably the best, and it's just to get a hint out of Biko. But she's alone on speed, and there's not really anybody else there. I think this is an okay turn to take off and race. We don't need to buy anything currently. 18th definitely suggests that we have become blocked pretty catastrophically. It's a good thing that we ran a race beforehand, because that's not a good outcome. Okay. At least we still get a little bit of power and skill points out of it, but that is not the result that you want to see out of a race. It's classic late surger roulette. We're at D on long, E on medium, we're on mile, and I think our stats are okay. This is a fairly strong team. It's probably good enough to take top option on the first round. Show me victory. Ooh, very nice. We'll go 4-0-1. Team rank up. Good start so far. 18th in the hopeful stakes is not what we're looking for, but everything else has gone pretty well so far. Let's go ahead and take 20 energy. Let's take some stamina and guts from Rico. And then let's see some good spirit trainings. This, I think, is a fine turn to just pass on wit, because nothing else is really happening anywhere, and it builds a little bit of spirit training. And then we can get another 5 energy here. So far, so good. A burst and a rainbow on speed is very nice. We definitely take that. That's also a good speed training. The wit is fine. The stam's also pretty good. These are two good trainings. I think I'd rather prioritize the friendship right now, though, because I would like to have most of these cards online by the time I get to summer break. So let's take speed here. It's got a little bit of spirit training, but the bigger thing is that it works on a lot of friendships at once. We get a little bit of energy back, which is also nice. We get a little bit of energy back, which is also nice. A Biko hint is looking pretty appealing right now, because it's going to help pull her closer to gold. This one would also guarantee that Tosin Jordan hits Spirit Burst, and it builds Teo at the same time. But with the energy recovery on Rico here, I think we could actually afford to take a slightly risky training next turn, and still do okay for ourselves. So let's go with that. Skills, I still don't think we need anything, and all that she does in her career is mediums and longs. So all of the mile skills that we're going to hopefully get hints for are not even things that we can necessarily use. Second is still unfortunate, and by a head, it feels like we have the stats to win races. So I can only assume that we got blocked again, and we just had an easier time navigating around people. And then before we jump into the derby, let's take a quick look at Matikane's hidden events, because hers is actually fairly easy. So we're over on Game Tora in the training event helper, which is down under tools. And if we pop in our trainee, Matikane, and we come down here to look at secret events, these are events that aren't necessarily listed in the game as things to do, but they're usually things that give you pretty good results. In this case, Matikane's secret event is to win the Kyoto Shimbunhai, the Kobe Shimbunhai, and the Kikukusho. If we do that, we get 25 speed, 25 power, and 2 hints for Slick Search, which is late race acceleration. That's quite nice, and the Kikukusho is already a goal race for her, so all we have to do is bank in the Kyoto and Kobe Shimbunhai, win them, and then we get a nice stat benefit. So we're going to do that as soon as we get out of this Rico event. I would like stamina, please. We're going to book both of those races in, and I'm pretty sure I remember where they are. Here's the Kyoto. And I think the Kobe Shimbunhai is here. No, it's here. So we're going to schedule both of those in, and I'm going to try to run both of those unless there's an extremely good training that pops up. Oh, hold on. I forgot to put game audio back on, too. There you go. So as far as trainings on this turn go, we are a little risky on failure right here, so I don't mind rolling on wit, and this one also comes with Biko friendship, which is nice. We have our first inspiration event. All this is going to give us is power. All that it can give us is power. Yeah, just a mountain of power, and then 5 hints for ramp up. We can actually just buy that immediately. That is a good generic hint. It'll work on any race distance. It works with any strategy if we decide we want to run a race as a pace chaser instead. Very, very good. A burst on speed is what we want, and a 12% chance to fail isn't that bad. But this wit training is also fine. It's actually slightly better at building friendship and spirit training right now. I'm going to get a little greedy and not burst on speed this turn, just because I think I can take this wit training and not lose very much for it. I can also take that wit training and not lose very much for it. This is really good too. It's not pushing anybody to gold, but we only need a few more trainings to get them into gold before summer break. Ooh, fast learn is also very nice. So we're going to run the Kyoto Shimbunhai, and we're going to hope that we win it. We're going to turn down a double rainbow speed to do this. That's rough. If we complete this secret event, we will technically get some speed out of it. We will not get as much speed out of it as this training, but at least some of it is coming from the burst. And the burst we can reuse at a later point. It'll show up on speed again later. I'm gonna pass on it, but if I don't win this race, I'm going to be pretty disappointed with that choice. Okay, thank God. We're not out of the woods yet, because we also have to win the Kobe Shimbunhai, and we have to win the Kikuka show, but I would have been displeased if we lost that race and came in like 18th again or something. Mile we don't need. Again, I don't think we're really gonna need any of this stuff, so we'll just skip it for now. That should be fine to win the Derby. Stamina's fine, power is excellent, and speed is okay. It just comes down to whether we get blocked or not. We may have gotten blocked, hard to say. But that's okay, that's not one of our main hidden event races. We can deal with the fact that we only came second. Not every career is going to be perfect. In fact, most of them aren't. And then the name of the game now is friendships. So we could burst on stamina to get Biko to gold. I don't really like that as a plan. I'm gonna gamble on using a Rico charge here and seeing what our training options are like in late June. Because we have a lot of support cards right now that are very close to gold friendship. That sucks, quite frankly. That's... What the heck? What is this? Oh no. Am I gonna take this guts training? The speed training is good, don't get me wrong. The wit training is fine, but like, look at what this guts training does for us, man. It puts Tosin Jordan to Spirit Burst. It gets Biko and Vodka to gold. It consumes a burst, and we have the next Unity Cup round coming up. Rico's here, so we get reduced energy spend on it. Teo's here, so we get mood boost from it. Like, this guts training actually does everything. And we're at good mood, so we might just want to rest the first turn of summer break anyway. I can't believe I'm talking myself into this guts training, but it does so much for us right now. I don't know. Maybe I shouldn't record these at like 11:45 p.m. Maybe I should do them earlier in the day, but that seemed like a good training. D's across the board on sprint, D's in dirt, D is everywhere except for us on mile. So we're gonna be a weak link here, I think. But we've done a decent amount of bursts. So let's see how this goes. It goes pretty well. A 3 and 2 is still a win. And now we're into summer break with most of our support cards switched on. So the first turn is going to be, unless it's an insane width, a rest. It's going to be a speed training. I'm going to gamble on 10% on this. Okay, now we're going to rest. Now this is a rest. Okay. All of our energy management through this entire run has led us to this moment. And then we still probably need to take like a halfway decent wit here if we want to train 3 of our 4 summer break turns. So we'll take this because it works on Curran's spirit training. It bumps up Kitasan stats a little more. And then show me like 1 more good speed training. Would it be too much to ask for a triple rainbow speed? No, single rainbow speed? I don't want to use a burst on power. We don't need that burst there. I also don't think we need to train stamina at all. I think it's just gonna get there by virtue of hitting like good power trainings once in a while. And also we only need like 600 to 650 for a mile anyway. So I think we can leave that one alone. This speed training just consumes way more energy than I'm comfortable spending on it with a single support there. So I think it's a wit training, even though it looks really uninspiring. It could also be a stamina training. We actually get good spirit training progress out of that. And maybe it should be one. Yeah, you know, this could probably be a stamina train. We're only like halfway through the run. We can't just abandon working on our spirit trainings yet. I'd prefer to get all of my training facilities closer to 4 before I start to do that, but bursts are good all the time. So let's keep working on some more of those. All facilities to 3. Single rainbow on stamina. A huge wit training. I love that wit training. That's just a big pile of stats with all the support cards there. And then let's go run the Kobe. We're passing up a single rainbow on speed. We're passing up an interesting burst on power, but it's not great, and a pretty bad whip training. This seems like a fine turn to take off and run a race. Cross your fingers. Good. Okay, all we need to do is win the Kikuku show, and then we've got the secret event taken care of. 10 bonus carrots is also quite nice. Gamble on energy loss. Minus 20 is unfortunate. It means we're probably going to have to take a full rest here. Just to rebuild energy fully. We've used up 2 Rico charges already. I'm fine saving some of those for senior year if we need them. Passing up on a single rainbow speed and a single rainbow stamina in order to take a rest, but I think that's fine for now. And then if we train wit like twice, we should be able to train twice. We could also just take full energy here. Smart Falcon's not in our deck, so we don't need to worry about continuing the event chain. We don't need groundwork because we're not a front runner. We also don't need focus, so we're just going to take 25 energy out of this. And we're going to be able to use most of it, if not all of it. Curvature's a little expensive still. Rushing Gale is too inconsistent. We are a late surger, and that's cheap. We've got 4 hints into it, so we can pick that up. If there's not an uphill on the track, unfortunate, but I think most tracks probably have uphills. Ran out of stamina. Son of a... I thought we'd be good at 350 since she was late surger. Alright, we'll have to try that hidden event another time. That is too bad. We sacrificed a lot to do that hidden event, too. Ah, well. At least now we know that even if we're a late surger, we need to be closer to 400 for the Kikuku show. It's a fine power training, I guess. Vodka does have a few mile hints in here, like Mile Straights is good, Updrafters is good, Homestretch Haste is just kind of generic, Slick Surge and Straightaway Adept are good. We wouldn't mind hitting any of those hints. Mile Straights? I'll take it. That's perfect. And then we've got a big slate of G1s here at the end of the year as well, if we want to run in any of those. We don't need to burst on stamina. I think stamina is going to be okay. A lot of these trainings are fairly bad right now. This might be a race day. We should have enough stamina for the Japan Cup, and it is a huge amount of fans if we win it, so let's give that a try. Good. Good stuff. We also get a free mood up out of that, which is very nice. A single burst on speed that basically forces us to use a Rico charge late December. A rainbow stamina that might let us use wit late December. I don't mind the stamina here. This is an uninspiring speed training. Like, all it does is use up a burst, and then it's just Kitas on here. So I think it's misleadingly bad. Whereas, on the other hand, we have vodka on this one for training effectiveness and mood effect. We're going to get a lot of bonus stats out of that. So let's grab this, and it comes with Rico's energy reduction. And then we'll see if we can hit a wit on late December. I mean, it's okay. It pushes harder to Spirit Burst. Nothing else here is really that interesting, but our energy is not so bad that I feel compelled to rest or use a Rico charge, so we'll just take a Spirit training on that. That gives us another Spirit Burst that we can use going into senior year. This feels like it may be a little shaky, because I don't think we've burst a lot. Our mile runners are catastrophically bad. Like, the game doesn't even know where to put Teo. What else do you run? You're medium A. Can I shift any of you to mile? Mile G. Mile C. I could shift Vodka over. Alright, so Vodka can be Teo. You switch over here. And then Teo can go to A here. You probably have the stam to finish mediums. And Vodka's just a ton of stats for mile. I think that's a better swap. It's always worth checking because every once in a while the game tries to do something a little weird in those setups. And I think in this case we caught it trying to do something it should not have been doing. Okay. 3 and 2 is still wins. It's shaky, but it still wins. A W is a W. And then let's see what senior year's got in store for us. I would love to take 30 energy. I don't feel compelled to burst on power still. I mean, our power is so far ahead of our speed right now. But all of these trainings look fairly bad. Is there a G2 today? There's a G2 today. There's a G2 that we haven't won today. Let's go knock this out. And then next turn we've got Raffle to recover any energy that we lose from this race. So again, we're running mediums when we don't have any skills for mediums. We can still hit 1.5 million CCs, and we can still hit ramp up. But we haven't bought anything else because all of our career is mediums and longs, and we're going to run miles afterwards. So there's no point in investing in it now. Also, with Fast Learner, we really want to try and get stuff cheap at the end of the run, because we could buy a lot of skills, with Fast Learner giving us a pretty hefty discount. Like, Charming is nice if you can get it early, in terms of the hierarchy of positive conditions you can get. I don't think Practice Perfect is worth it, basically, ever, unless you're, like, stacking it with other buffs that are going on, like we did with Super Creek. Charming is good if you get it early, and it falls off pretty dramatically if you get it late. Hot Topic is good if you get it early, and also falls off dramatically if you get it late, but it's not as good as Charming, especially in Unity Cup, because that's because Friendship really doesn't do that much for you. But Fast Learner is just good all the time. You're buying skills on every single run. And if you're being patient and you're not buying most of your skills until the very end of the run, it doesn't matter whether it shows up on like turn 2 or turn 71. You're still going to be able to extract value from it. I would take Fast Learner basically every single time, I think. Please do not get blocked. You're looking great. We're hitting our unique. That's a lot of ground to make up still. But we're a late surger. We're going to be moving fairly quickly. We should have a higher max speed than everybody in front of us. That's a big gap to close, but I think she's got it, actually. She does have it. Holy cow. Very nice. Very, very nice. By 1 1/4 lengths, no less. That also may take care of our fan threshold for Valentine's Day, if we didn't have that done already from Japan Cup. We get 20 energy back. We're up to team rank B. Oh, fan threshold is sorted. Fan threshold's A, okay. It's not a good speed training. I don't think I need the stamina. We're going to be going to around 525 just from end of career. So we only need to get like 90 more stamina total, and we have the entire senior year to do it. I don't think I need to burst on stamina right now. This is probably like a wit day. And it's not a good wit, but it's okay. We don't mind having wit. Unique level up 1. A burst on speed. It's still not a good speed training. But I guess I should start using them up. If they keep showing up there. Yeah, I mean, we're almost full on energy. It'll just give me the burst. Shifting gears is a mile skill, but I think it requires us to be at the front, so we're probably not going to be using that. A double rainbow is the kind of thing I'm interested in, and Rico's there for an energy reduction. Let's start working on that speed. We'll take 5 energy back. We're still going to probably after Rico after this. We already have all of our ramp up hints, so this is interesting. Do we gamble on getting plus 10 energy and nothing else, or do we gamble on getting plus 20 stamina at the expense of 5 energy? I actually think this is not bad, like from an energy perspective. So stamina training is like 15 energy or something like that. This is basically an option worth 60 stamina. We don't have stamina trainings that give us that much stamina, and we already wanted to Rico next turn anyway, so let's just take the stamina. If we hadn't bought ramp up, that would be a different calculus, but we bought ramp up at max hints, so it's not even like we could have gotten a discount. We got ramp up for very cheap. And then this is going to be a Rico turn. Wow, that's an interesting wit. Oh, that's actually a really interesting wit. How greedy is this? Because if I wit and then we see like a triple rainbow on speed, I'm going to be very grumpy. We could even technically be getting quadruple rainbows on speed here. I think I have to take a Rico just because of how much in energy debt we are right now. But that was not a bad wit training. It got a ton of spirit training done for us. Here's our inspiration for our next 100 power or so. Corner adapt hints, I love that. So we could probably buy curvature now. That's a nice generic skill. Let's go pick that up. It's not gonna get any cheaper because we can't get more hints for curvature. Straightaway adapt could technically become cheaper, but we can sit on that for a while, and I'm glad that we played safe with Rico because a double speed training is quite nice. So let's jump on that. Single rainbow speed, that I'm less excited about. This may be a full rest just so that we can preserve Rico a little bit. If we do run into a mood down, I think we'd very much like to have her around. Stam 15 versus hesitant frontrunners. I would be fine just taking stamina here. It's going to keep getting us to 650. All of these trainings look hideous. So we could wit, or we could run a G1. I think the Victoria Mile is today. So we could go do an actual mile race. Pick ourselves up a little bit of skill points, maybe. Second is fine. I'm not sweating it. We're still going to get stats and skill points out of that. It's just going to make it slightly more expensive to pay the energy for it afterwards, but hitting -10 is very nice. Single rainbow speed is, again, not really what I'm looking for. A double burst on stamina isn't really what I'm looking for. I think this might be a fine power training to take. We have all of our good mood up support cards here. Teo is here with her 40 or whatever she's got, and then Vodka's also here with another 50, so we're getting a lot of stats out of this, and then it's also doing a little spirit training on some of our aces. We could have preserved energy on that turn, but... Oh, no, we preserve energy now. I did count it right. God, I got worried that I screwed that up. We'll just take a rest, and then we'll go into summer break with full energy. That's beautiful. That's worked out perfectly. Good. I didn't even see what that was, but something popped up on the screen very quickly and then went away. Maybe it was our next goal race? It's just our calendar hasn't updated with it yet. What just... Oh, there we go. Okay, now it's booked in. Okay, sure. Early start we don't need. Is anything here cheap? Pace Chaser we're not going to need. Medium, Mile. And I don't think we need to buy yet. I'm not seeing anything here that's like a must-buy. We'll get Adept eventually, but it's possible we could get a 5th hint for Adept still. It also doesn't feel like we've done a ton of bursts here, but the game thinks our chances are okay. That said, we've never taken the middle option yet this run, which means that we can just take the middle option, get a guaranteed win, and then we'll still be rank 5 or above going into the final Zenith. So let's play it safe. Take our 4-1. Mile continues to be our worst team by a very wide margin. But at least that sorts out Unity Cup. And then we've got 3 turns of Spring Break before we have to run a goal race. I don't love that that overflows our wit. Wow, that's a crazy stamina training. I really don't want to burst on stamina. But it's so efficient. Right, I'll do 1 burst on stamina just to make sure we get to 650. That training and never touching stamina again should make sure that we're fine. Double rainbow on speed is exactly what we want to see, and then we'll be looking to... No, we can still train 1 more turn. Not great. Not great. The wit's okay. The guts is also okay. How good do I think this wit is? It's 22 stats total? That's probably good enough. I was thinking, like, what if we just rest and get 40? Actually, if we rest, we have no rainbows on speed here. This is this is a below average training. We should rest here to get 40 energy back, even though it's summer break. Because if we see multiple double or triple speed rainbows going into the back half of the year, we want to be able to jump on those. So let's take a full energy recovery. We'll go knock out our goal race, which inconveniently is being held during summer break. Also, unsurprisingly, we've never run this race before, because it's during summer break. Why would you? But it will give us a good chance to see how well we're doing. There's also only 10 runners? Why is it so small? There's nobody here. Rush should not matter at this point. We should have more than enough stamina to finish, regardless of whether we rush or not. We'll hope that the track doesn't start late race on a corner, otherwise that Saiyan Sky is going to hit angling and scheming and just vanish into the distance. It's an early-ish curvature. If there's a late corner in the race, we could possibly hit it again. And then if you can just stay away from the pace chasers for like another 5 seconds, you'll avoid pace down. I think she's done it. Making good time on the pace chasers in front, too. I don't think there's any other skills that she can hit here except for 1.5 million CCs, but there may just not be an uphill on this track. And then also the only way she's going to get her unique to trigger here is if she gets blocked literally right now, but this is going to take her into 3rd. Late race did start on a corner, but I think Saiyan just never hit the unique, so off we go. And that should be that. Alright, +1 G2 trophy. Very nice. It's another 50 carats in the bag. Getting very close to that 30k marker now. It will not be long before we can pull again. And now, all we want to see is good speed trainings. That's it. Because speed is going to drag our power up, and our stamina should be fine with the end of career bonuses that we get. So if we don't see a burst on speed, and we don't see a rainbow on speed, we just take wit to preserve our energy for when they show up later. Or if our energy is full, we run like a G1 or a G2. That's a burst on speed, we take it. We'll stick to the plan. It's another hint for Unyielding Spirit. So we'll be able to pick that up. Oh, is that power? It's a good power training. But it's not what I want to be spending my energy on right now. I don't need my power to go any higher. I need my speed to go higher. We also have 2 charges of Rico left to use up, so let's start knocking those out to refill our energy here. And then we'll save the last one for maybe like December early. It's a pretty bad rainbow speed, but we don't have a lot of turns left, so I think we just take it. It's better than nothing. Base Chaser straightaways is not something that we're going to use, so we'll just take 10 guts. It's not a speed training that we want. It's an efficient stamina training, but I don't think we need it. So this is probably going to be our last Rico charge. And then we'll train late November, wit early December, maybe? The last 2 turns here are going to be a little awkward. That's such a bad speed training. I'll still take it. And then we'll rest or we'll wit early December. I can't take that. I'm not going to take a single rainbow speed. Because I know that the deck can do better. And I'm going to save energy for seeing good rainbow speeds in the last 3 turns. And if we don't, then we don't. But these have been below average turns for like the last 8 turns, so I'm going to play the odds. Good. So that's career done. We have not hit Team Rank S yet, although we could hit it in the last 3 turns. Yeah, we are still A. Let's jump into Zenith. We would like to win this because we'd like to have no stopping me. We will win this, so we get no stopping me. That's positive. It's also S rank speed, so we'll have rank 5 speed training for the last 3 turns. I'm manifesting triple and quadruple rainbows in my mind. It's not bad. It's not great, but it's not bad. I do see the burst on stamina, I just don't care about the burst on stamina. That's also Team Rank S, so we get It's On out of that as well. This is a run. So It's On is not going to get any cheaper. We'll grab it now. All of the rest of this stuff we can save on. We are going to need to beat Zenith in the finals, which might be a little sketchy, but we're okay on speed power right now, and it's possible with 1 or 2 good speed trainings we could hit 1k. We just need these last 2 turns to cooperate. They're not cooperating. I have to use this burst up now, otherwise we're never going to use it. It's just going to help make sure that we get to 650 stamina, and then we need to cross our fingers for a good last turn. Speed Eater's kind of interesting too. Isn't that a mile skill where you have to be at the back? No, it's at the front. Alright, never mind. Come on, one big speed training at the end of their career. Show me one quadruple rainbow speed. I don't think it's too much to ask. Personally. Maybe you disagree. Oh my god. Our luck has crumbled at the end of this run. Oh no. I mean, we'll still take the speed because it's definitely the highest priority stat that we want, but man, our luck evaporated over the last 10 turns of this run or so. That is too bad. This Matikane is good. She could be so much better. If we had done the secret event, if we had hit rainbow trainings, there's a lot of room for improvement here. We'll obviously run back some alarm clocks here. That's just getting blocked. Don't worry about that too much. There's a win in here. The first time she only lost by a length. There it is. Okay. So it's a win against Zenith, which is nice. We hit our stamina target, which is nice. If I had gotten an earlier start on this recording, I think I would run this back immediately just to highlight the difference that RNG can make, but unfortunately I got a late start to my day, which has led to a late recording, so we're only going to be doing one run today. We also have to go watch the CM rounds, because we're into A rank, round 2A. So we're going to go knock that out. Given that we have Fast Learner, I'm pretty sure I can afford this, but let's buy our high priority stuff first. So high priority stuff is no stopping me. Late Surger velocity skills in mid-race. Mile skills that activate reliably. In other words, that don't require us to be at the front. Fighter is not amazing. I don't think acceleration is good just when you're trying to pass another runner. Like, technically you could get this to trigger in late race. If we have the skills budget for it, I may grab it. We can afford Ignited Spirit. We could also probably afford Small Breather. Our stamina... Oh, never mind. We don't need it. Our stam's at 680. We do not need a recovery. So we can definitely afford Rudolph's Unique. We can afford Straightaway Adept. We're 1 point off being able to buy Rushing Gale. That sucks. What else did I want to buy down here, then? You were looking at Fighters. You can pick up Fighter, and then you could also pick up a second rank of Mile Straightaways. And then can you afford, like, Inner Post Proficiency? You can. Okay. So it's a little weird. I mean, we're mostly buying skills at this point to get points out of team trials. But I think that's actually a pretty good runner, despite the fact that speed fell apart completely at the end of the run. Let's finish and see what our sparks are looking like. Wow, 11k? That was a really good run. That's usable sparks, too. 2 speed, 2 turf is very generic. Corner adept, straightaway adept are generic. Nimble nav fighter pulls you into being late surger, but I think that's our first turf spark. Which means that we'd really like to use this Matikane as a parent for anybody else going forwards. I would love to have a stable of parents that's like 2 medium sparks and 1 turf spark. So that's great. We will absolutely be using you, and I think you're good enough to get the boba tea. To denote you as being a parent that we really want to use, if possible. We'll take Finals Champion. Improve bond level, and then edit team. So we're going to switch you in for Vodka. You're going to go here. Then Vodka's going to go here. Then Scarlet is going to go here, because that Daiwa Scarlet is actually not a bad mile. No, wait, it's not that one. Where's the other one? Is it you? It's you. This is not a bad mile runner. We have Mile S, which is a nice perk. She's at Stamina Threshold, which is a nice perk. Killer Tunes doesn't do anything, and Focus also doesn't really do, like, anything. But she's okay. She's obviously not ideal, and there's some changes that we would like to make. We'll run her as Pace, because she has Pace Chaser Savvy. It's points. And we have to rebuild most of these runners at this point anyway. So, we'll go ahead and confirm that. This is a little annoying in that they're both late surgers. we need to switch that around. We also need to switch around Venture Ryan and Vodka both being late surgers on our medium team, but we really don't have a lot of trainees to work with at this point, and I think we just kind of have to take what we can get at this point. So let's go knock Chores out. I did schedule one team race earlier when I was showing like how the Rain Doll stuff works, so we'll just go knock that out. And then let's see how we do. This should be a team that beats our previous high score. Especially on a run where we win 5 races, this should put us way above retention line. It didn't. It's not even as good as our previous high score. Wow, wow, wow. Okay. There's a better score in here somewhere, though. We don't need a better score. But there's a better score in here somewhere. $403 in a daily shop. We'll definitely pick up alarm clocks to make sure we have enough of them. Hopeful stakes and longs, we run those fairly regularly, so we don't necessarily need those. Gold present. We must have high rolled really high on that team trials run that put us at 420 or whatever that score is. I'll go back and inspect it in a little bit. Shuka Show we run somewhat regularly. I don't think I really need to ever buy any of the banners for the Triple Crown or Triple Tiara. Those are fairly common races. I think it's like if we see sprints or dirts, we probably buy the banners, otherwise we don't need it. Single win, okay. Just a very strong team, I guess. And then last team trials charge. It's a lot of presents. It's a high score. Okay, there we go. There we go. Our work has not been in vain. Another 5 carats. So for tomorrow, promotion line's 376, we're at 440. We've got promotion squared away. We'll be class 5 tomorrow. We'll go knock out our daily races, get a little bit of money. This is a 1600. I mean, we could use Matikane because she's our new mile runner. And she's pretty good. She's almost as good as Taiki is. Yeah, that's perfect. We've got several runners that can do our mile races now. Go get our last batch of star pieces. There is a legend race that we need to do today, and then we will go and we'll do our CM rounds. So show me legend races against Grass Wonder. This is the Arima? Yeah. So we'll just take our... Well, is that the one? Are you our long runner gold chip? I guess you are. You're at 725. I don't think there's any... Well, actually, Vodka could do even better. No, Vodka's F in longs. Yeah, it's just this gold chip. This gold chip does everything. Normal mood number 2 favorite. We win once, and then we can skip from then on out. So we'll see if she can manage to put that together. It's a very early Uma stand, which I'm told is actually when you want it to trigger, but I don't fully understand the mechanics behind why, because she's just going to hit pace down here anyway. Like, there's the pace down. The Uma stand went off early, but then she just gets shuttled to the back anyway. There's math behind Uma stand that I don't fully understand. One of these days I'll read more about it and figure it out. That's also an early curvature trigger, which means we could get a second one closer to the end of the race, because on the Arima Keenan track, the final corner is very, very deep into the race. This is also going to be another pace down. Actually, wait a minute. How many end closers were there? Why is she running up with, like, the late surgers? Is that what Umastan did? No, there's the pace down again. He was just a little too far ahead. I don't know. Maybe that is what Umastan does. I need to do more reading on that. The way that Umastan interacts with some of, like, the position keep and pace down mechanics is wonky. And I'm pretty sure that's why people run it, but I can't fully explain to you why. It's on my to-do list of things to know about the game. The point here, though, is that we have an end closer in 5th before the start of late race, which is pretty good. And then here's late race acceleration. Off we go. That should be a win. Grass is coming behind us, but we are... Yeah, and then there's our second curvature trigger too. So we should be quite a bit faster at this point. That's a scary gold chip, man. Maybe we should have built a gold chip for CM. Where do I add up to? Very nice. Alright, well that takes care of the legend race. Good. And then let's run it back 2 more times. Get the rest of our star pieces. Also make sure we're getting our rainbow crystal shards out of this. And our gold crystal shards. The gold crystal shards we actually may end up using sooner rather than later, since we don't really have a ton of golds at max limit break right now. Good. Very good. And then... Bad again. It doesn't matter. No, not race. We'll just skip through it. I misclicked. It's fine. We'll skip the whole thing. Gold chip's in first. That's all you need to see. First in late race, we're going to be fine. Alright. Let's go claim our crystal rewards. Let's go knock out our CM runs. And then it'll be time to pack it in. You don't have to go all the way to home for that. There you go. So we're into A. I did another run after our recording yesterday and actually went 5-0. So I think this team is quite good. And we should have a decent shot of getting into A finals here. We need to win 1 to make it to any finals. And making it to any finals would be a success, because the finals pay out a pretty good amount of carrots, but obviously our target is Group A. If we're winning 5-0 in the first round, that's a pretty good indication that we should probably be in A finals, just in terms of team strength. And we've got today and tomorrow to run races to see if we can get there. Number 4, 6, and 7 favorite. So we'll see how this goes. We have 2 Mayanas. I would guess that one of those is probably going to try and be a front runner. We've got a pair of Creeks, a Tachyon, so they've got onboard recoveries. But then they're going to be missing the 901 stamina threshold to get extra velocity. We have 1 front Mayana, which is nice for the purposes of passing her later on in the race. I wonder if it would have been a smart idea to try and fit Professor of Curvature onto that special week. I hadn't really thought about the fact that it could trigger more than once on this track. Also, it's a really slow Mayano. Holy cow, we're gonna get hit with pace downs like crazy. Yeah, there's everybody getting a pace down. We need to get that Mayano out of the way. Otherwise, it's just going to bog everybody else down. Pace down should be ending right about now. So from here on out, we should just be able to run past her. I don't know where Creek is going, but she decided to be fast today. And then there's Special Week's Gorman, so we know we'll be able to finish this race stamina-wise. If Gorman doesn't go off, Special Week loses. If I can just keep Creek ahead of Special Week, then we can still trigger a pass. That's a perfect time to hit Feel the Burn. Can I also see Nimble Nav? I can also see Nimble Nav? Okay, Ryan has a decent shot at winning this race too. Creek hit, or Special Week hit head on. This is looking good for all of our runners right now. But we are super bunched up coming into the end of the race. That is probably going to be pure velocity in terms of what that trigger is going to do for us. We're super deep into late race now, so the acceleration is going to be wasted, but it's also going to help her put a gap between the other people coming from behind us. Never mind, we're going to lose to that Mayano. We're going to lose to that Mayano and that Nice Nature. I thought we were looking really good there for a while. I can't wait to see what those other two runners did. Show me placing. 880 double recovery, but you had long S. So long S is going to do a lot of heavy lifting there for velocity in late race. Double recovery is weird though, you shouldn't need both. And then this is just Stam Cap, Guts Cap, Long... Yeah, we're losing to Long S. If we wanted to improve this Special Week, I think we should have rerun it for Long S, but I just didn't feel like doing runs until we hit it. That would be our easiest way to improve at this point though. I think both of those were down to just both of them having long S. Let's see if we can find a lobby where we can do a little bit better. Special Week is 3rd favorite. Ryan is 9th favorite, and I don't think Creek was much higher. Creek and Ryan hitting late start is pretty unfortunate. And I think that Tachyon's going to get promoted to frontrunner. That gold chip is also much higher than she should be right now. I wonder if she's going to hit pace down. She is. Yeah, there she goes. Alright. Time for you to go back to where you're supposed to be. She is all the way back there now. Yeah. That's a bit of a pace down. Creek is rushed, but that should be fine. She's got recoveries. That cafe is also very high up. If they've got like stamina siphon and stuff like that, she's not going to hit much of the pack. And in fact, she might not even... I think that was it just going off, because I saw a bunch of stamina drain on the fronts. But she missed like half the field with it because she was so far up. Ryan is also too far up right now. This is an extremely end-closer heavy lobby. Ryan is so far ahead that she's not going to be able to hit Feel the Burn, but she could still hit No Stopping Me. Or Nimble Navigator, I guess technically it is. And she's so far up. Also, that Tachyon is just zooming into the distance. So we need Special Week to hit head on here. And the unique. She has people to pass, so there's head on. Can I get an early unique activation to get more acceleration out of you? Yes. Okay. I think that's our best shot. Is trying to get Special Week further up. That's a pretty late Feel the Burn. I don't think it's going to do much. Oh, that Grass Wonder is very far ahead. That gold chip is also moving very quickly. I don't think we got this one. Those are very fast runners at the front. Let's see what that Grass Wonder and gold chip are doing, though. Gold chip definitely had Umamusume, but I still don't fully understand what it does, because she hit it early and it just fell back. Wow, the skills. Holy cow. This just looks like a normal runner. This looks like a bad Team Trials runner. It's not even long A or Turf A. That's a really interesting build. You've got double uniques that both hit acceleration. Actually, wait, this is a Team Trials runner. You have Sapporo Racecourse on here. Wow, this is just somebody who took their Grass Wonder in and did great with it. Well done to you. Good job. This gold ship looks a little more purpose-built, I guess. They've got Turf S, but the coast is clear. It's kind of a weird inclusion. And then what was this cafe doing? Also looks fairly purpose-built. Interesting lobby. We only have to win one to get to B finals. I still think we're supposed to be in A finals. But we will be able to luck into at least one win here. Round 3, we're number 1 favorite, number 6, and number 4. But we're in a bad mood. I also don't think there was a front runner in this lobby. I didn't check. Fortunately, Special Week hit a late start, so we're not going to be the front runner, which is good, because we need to pass people to hit our unique. It's going to be that Vampire Rice. Early recovery. Ryan is rushed. That may be a problem, but I think she rushed in one of the other rounds and still managed to win, so it may not be a huge issue. We have a cafe at the back that could be packing Stamina Eater, or whatever it's called. Thought it was called Stamina Eater. The one that siphons stamina from runners in front. I mean, our Special Week and our Super Creek are built to handle it. Our Ryan is not, especially because she rushed already, so if she gets hit with stamina downs, she's going to have a really nasty time. Chase down is ending now, so we can get as close as we want to that Vampire Rice in front. We just want to save the actual pass itself for the start of late race, so that we get acceleration out of it. Creek's got her recovery. Ryan is way too far ahead to hit Nimble Nav. I would like somebody else to pass her so that she can be in 6th at late race. We could still technically hit No Stopping Me, or Nimble Nav, I guess. But this looks like it's lined up perfectly for Special Week to hit head-on and then pass Rice for even more acceleration. There's head-on. Just get ahead of this Rice Shower. Wow, she's pulling away. That's way too late for Field of Burn, I think. That Meisho Dodo is moving extremely quickly. But this may be enough velocity to save us. No, it's not. Wow, that's a fast Meisho Dodo. Okay. Can't be too mad about a second. We're definitely in contention for all of these. We just need to get a little luckier. Cut and Drive and Behold Thine Emperor's Divine Might. They're not at Stam. They are at Guts. Yeah, it looks good. Alright, 2 to go. Matchmaking complete. We're number 2, number 5, number 6. There's no front runner. There's 6 pace chasers, though. As long as it's not us. Late start? Perfect. It's not us. We're getting very lucky with late starts here. It's going to be a Biwa Hayahide. So we're going to be the back pace chaser. Oh, this is perfect for Ryan as well, because this means late race she's going to have all of these pace chasers to pass. So this is a potential Ryan victory. She's positioned really well. And she does not care if she's in 9th. And then we just want to make a little bit of mid-race progress here. Latery recovery is good insurance. Gourmand is good insurance. Making sure that we actually have the stamina to finish. Everybody else is hitting their recoveries as well. Face down should be over around now. So we can start to make some progress towards the front. That winning ticket is really far up. If they're running Let's Pump Some Iron, I don't think they're going to get much benefit out of it. But if they have good late surgery acceleration skills, I think that's going to be a problem for us. Let's see if they hit anything. There's Nimble Nav. So that's going to move her into 6th, and then she'll be able to hit Feel the Burn. Anytime she passes somebody. There we go. No, that's Special Week. Okay. There's Feel the Burn. Okay, it might be a little late at this point, but I guess better late than never. Are we going to be able to catch that ticket? Maybe? No, she's faster. Alright, let's take a look at this ticket. What did you do? Triumphant Pulse, Professor of Curvature. I think not taking Professor of Curvature was probably a mistake on our end. I was not thinking about the fact that it could trigger more than once. And then stats are just good. You're 6 points underneath the B+ threshold. That's just well built, I think. And then final round. Even if we can't capitalize today, we do get one more day at these, and we could try building a second runner. Like, we could spend tomorrow working on a gold chip or something like that. We could slot in. Because Ryan is not ideal. She doesn't even have long A. She's actually really undertuned for this CM. There is a front runner in this lobby, which is a nice little bit of extra insurance for Special Week. No late starts this time. Off goes R Creek. So Mayano's the front runner. Creek, what you doing up there? There's the pace down. Okay. He just really wanted to go running, I guess. This is also going to be a pace down, I think. For Special Week. Both of the frontrunner Mayanos that we've seen have felt very slow. I think that might be the pace down? I'm not sure. Pace down should be ending now. So after this, we're just free to run. Just try to not pass too early. Okay, but don't, like, not pass at all, either. That's also, I'm very scared by a gold chip being in 3rd when it's not even late race yet. Did Special Week not hit Gourmand? Because this feels like she's looking at late race and thinking she doesn't have enough stamina to get to the end. That's odd. I'm not sure what's happening. I mean, what I'm sure of is that that gold chip is probably going to win, but I'm not sure, like, what happened mechanically to Special Week at the start of late race. That's a very scary gold chip. I can't wait to see how that got built. What did you do? everybody likes the coast is clear. But it's straightaway spurt. It's a lot of good mid-race velocity. Masterful Gambit is interesting as late race velocity. You've got your recovery to finish and closer savvy. It's just well built. We've lost to mostly well built runners. It's a little annoying to come in second on like 4 of those races. And a 0 win is definitely not where we want to be, but sometimes the luck is with you and sometimes the luck isn't. So I'm going to go claim all of our rewards for doing our dailies. Oh, we also need to check up on the club to get our club points. We'll set up a shoe donation. We checked in on the club, so that's 30 free club points. We'll take all of these. That puts us at 26,100. So we are very close to our next polls. And then also grab our free champions meeting tickets. And then we'll also grab our archive carrots as well. So I'm going to go use up those other 2 champions meeting tickets. I'm not going to record them because I have to get to bed here in about 20 minutes. And if I have to narrate every single race, that is going to push me well past my bedtime. But I'm going to go run the rest of those runs, and I'm going to see how we do. Hopefully our luck improves a bit, and if we're really lucky, we can manage to string together a 3-win. But I'll let you guys know how it goes tomorrow. If you're a fan of the Uma videos, do let me know by liking the video, subscribing to the channel, and hitting the notification bell if you want. And if you have any questions about Uma mechanics, or you disagree with some of the training approaches, or strategies or plans that we've had in the video, drop me a comment, and I would love to spotlight it and discuss it with all of you. Till next time, though, I've been Chef, take care, and have a good rest of your night.